Hello, my curious souls. Mountain Mama here, and today I want to talk about Kentucky Giants. I'm not talking about some kind of sports team here. I'm talking about the legit mystical giant. I gotta admit, I was pretty let down when I found out there were so many newspapers actually covering this that this isn't being talked about more. So, some of the first accounts with giants being found in Kentucky goes all the way back to 1911, and it was posted in the Cincinnati Enquirer. So, the story goes that basically someone was trying to clean up some portion of their land, and they go out near a rock formation, and lo and behold, they end up finding a skeleton that is up to 12 feet tall. But it gets better. So whenever they're looking into this a bit more, they go and find some neighbors, because that's what you do when you find a giant skeleton. And they start digging into the rock formation more, where they found a whole room of skeletons of these larger heights, along with instruments they had never seen before and different artifacts. Even older than that, there is mention in the 1840s of these kind of skeletons being found. Some of these locations, the first being Pine Grove in that first story. Meade County was around the 1840s. We got Bell County, Glasgow. They seem to be everywhere. There was one location in Holly Creek, Kentucky, around 1965 is when someone else found another one of these skeletons. It was covered in a white powdery substance that disintegrated to the touch, and an archaeologist actually came to check out these remains. Now, the preservation of the body was a lot better than what it should have been, and they think that it actually lines up with some of the old ancient Hawaiian traditions for preserving the dead. In this 1965 case, the archaeologists actually believe that the bones were around 300 years old. Now, with that being said, there seems to be a common thread throughout these stories where people are clearing land or doing land work unsuspecting, and then they come upon these skeletons that are very tall. Now, why is it though that it seems that the archaeologists will come back years later in some of these cases and then say, oh, it was just a pituitary gland issue? These skeletons are being found everywhere. What in the environment is actually causing it then, if it seems to be some kind of a genetic or pituitary gland issue? Especially since we know that giantism is, well, rare. And with that being said, if they have to admit how old these actually are, does that mean that they would have to admit that they were wrong about the beginning of human existence and the dates that we've been given for that? If you want to dig deeper into it with me, we have an episode about it on our What's That Haint podcast, Kentucky Giants.